So, last class we have discussed about PCM. We have discussed about the transmitter side of PCM, receiver side, and in between we have also discussed about the regenerative repeater. So today we are going to learn about quantization. The quantization is followed by sampling. After sampling an analog signal, we get an output as discrete time output. So the discrete time output is compared with a fixed digital level in quantization, and output is assigned to any one of the digital level, either 0 or 1. അതായത് നമ്മൾ സാമ്പിളിംഗ് ചെയ്ത് കിട്ടുന്ന ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് ഡിസ്ക്രീറ്റ് ടൈം ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് ആയിരിക്കും. ആ ഔട്ട്പുട്ടാണ് നമ്മളൊരു കോണ്ടൈസറിലേക്ക് കൊടുക്കുക. ആ കോണ്ടൈസറിന്റെ ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഒരു ഫിക്സ്ഡ് ഡിജിറ്റൽ ലെവലിൽ ഈ ഡിസ്ക്രീറ്റ് ടൈം ഇൻപുട്ടിനെ കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യും. ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദറ്റ് കമ്പാരിസൺ ഈ ഡിസ്ക്രീറ്റ് ടൈം ഇൻപുട്ടിനെ ഐദർ 1ലേക്കോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 0ലേക്കോ അസൈൻ ചെയ്യും. ദിസ് ഈസ് ഹൗ ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ ഇസ് ഡൺ. ആൻഡ് ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ രണ്ട് ടൈപ്പ് ഉണ്ട്. യൂണിഫോം ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, നോൺ യൂണിഫോം ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് യൂണിഫോമിൽ തന്നെ അഗെയിൻ ടു ക്ലാസിഫിക്കേഷൻ അത് മിഡ് ത്രെഡ് ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ ആൻഡ് മിഡ് റൈസ് ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ. ആൻഡ് talking about the uniform quantization, here the step size remains the same. And in non-uniform quantization, step size varies. This is the difference between uniform and non-uniform quantization. In uniform, step size remains the same. And as discussed, there are two types, mid-thread and mid-rise. In talking about a step, first we have to understand which is the thread part and which is the rise part. This is the thread part and this is the rise part. And this is what we call step size. And it is denoted by delta. In uniform quantization, the step size remains the same. And in non-uniform quantization, is step size different. That is, it always changes. So, here, this is the thread part and this is the right part. So, in mid-thread part, here the origin, this is the origin. Origin lies mid-thread, as the name suggests, is in the middle of thread. So the origin lies in the middle of this thread. This is the mid-thread uniform quantization, and in mid-rise uniform quantization, the origin lies here. This is the rise part. So the origin lies in the middle part of the rising part, in the middle of rising part. This is the rising part. So, quantization we are going to discuss. We will discuss about the quantization in PCM. With respect to pulse chord modulation, we are going to discuss. So before going to the quantization in PCM, we'll understand the basic about the quantization. Quantization which after followed by sampling. Sampling is output discrete type output. I output a fixed digital level which to compare it, we will assign to either to any one of the output, either it will be 0 or it will be 1. And in uniform quantization, there are two types of quantization. Uniform quantization, non-uniform quantization. In uniform quantization, there are two types, that is mid-thread and mid-rise. And in mid-thread, this is the thread part and this is the rising part. So in mid-thread, the origin will be in the middle of this thread, and in mid-rise, the origin will be in the middle of this rising part. And in uniform quantization, the step size is delta, which remains same, and non-uniform quantization, the step size, which is denoted by delta, varies. This is the basic things about quantization. Now, here we are going to consider a mid-rise type uniform condenser. So, consider a mid-rise type uniform condenser. So, assume that the input to the condenser is which varies from -4 delta to 4 delta, where delta is the step size. So the input can take any value between -4 to +4 delta, and the fixed digital levels are, here the fixed digital levels are at a plus delta by 2, plus or minus delta by 2, plus or minus 3 delta by 2, plus or minus 5 delta by 2, plus or minus 7 delta by 2, etc. So we can say that the condenser output, which is denoted by XQ of NTS, and condenser input. So we have said that assume this is the X of NTS is the input to the condenser, and it can vary from the range -4 delta to +4 delta, that is delta, 2 delta, 3 delta, -4 delta. Same in the negative side, minus delta, -2 delta, -3 delta, -4 delta. So the input X of NTS can vary from -4 delta to +4 delta. And here this is the fixed digital level to which we are comparing the input, which is delta by 2, minus delta by 2, 3 delta by 2, minus 3 delta by 2, minus 5 delta by 2, same delta 3 delta by 2, 5 delta by 2, etc. So we are considering a mid rise, which will be like this. If from here we can see that if X of NTS is equal to 4 delta, then XQ of NTS is nothing but, here 7 delta by 2 is there, so 7 delta by 2. And if X of NTS is equal to -4 delta, X of NTS ഇത് X of Q NTS ഇത്, അതായത് കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്തത് ഇത് ഇൻപുട്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഈ X of NTS -4 ഡെൽറ്റ ആണെങ്കിൽ we know that this X of Q NTS എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് it will be -4 ഡെൽറ്റ ആണെങ്കിൽ -7 ഡെൽറ്റ by 2 ആണ്. അപ്പൊ ഈ ഒരു ഗ്രാഫ് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും, നമ്മളെ ഇൻപുട്ട് 4 ഡെൽറ്റ ആണെങ്കിൽ അതിന് കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കോണ്ടാക്ട് ചെയ്ത ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് 7 ഡെൽറ്റ by 2. ഇൻപുട്ട് -4 ഡെൽറ്റ ആണെങ്കിൽ അതിന്റെ കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് X of Q NTS -7 delta by 2 ആണ്. So we can say that the quantization error is nothing but X of Q NTS, which is the quantized output, minus X of NTS, which is our discrete input, which we are quantizing, which is nothing but plus or minus delta by 2. Here, that is Emax is nothing but delta by 2. We can observe from that X of Qt and NTS 7 delta by 2 ആണെങ്കിൽ minus X of NTS 4 delta ആണ്. So 4 delta, this will be nothing but minus delta by 2. And x of NTS and x of Q NTS minus 7 delta by 2 ആണെങ്കിൽ minus of 4 delta, which will be nothing but delta by 2. So maximum E max എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ mod of del by 2 ആണ്, which is the quantization error. ഇത്രയും മനസ്സിലായോ? ഹർഷിന് മനസ്സിലായോ? ആരും കൂടെ ഒന്ന് റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്യോ? ഓക്കെ. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് ദ ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ എറർ. ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ എറർ ഇതാണ്. നമ്മൾ 4 ഡെൽറ്റ ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഇൻപുട്ട് കൊടുക്കുന്നതെങ്കിൽ കറസ്പോണ്ടിങ് ക്വാണ്ടൈസ്ഡ് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് വിൽ ബി 7 ഡെൽറ്റ ബൈ 2 ആസ് പെർ ദ എക്സാമ്പിൾ. അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് മൈനസ് ഡെൽറ്റ ബൈ 2. നേരെ മറിച്ച് നമ്മൾ -4 ഡെൽറ്റയും മൈനസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ കോണ്ടൈസ്ഡ് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് എക്സ് ക്യൂ ഓഫ് എൻ ടി എസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കോണ്ടൈസ്ഡ് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് വിൽ ബി -7 ഡെൽറ്റ ബൈ 2. അതിന്റെ കേസിൽ വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് ദ ഡിഫറൻസ് ആസ് ഡെൽറ്റ ബൈ 2. സോ അവർ ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ എറർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പ്ലസ് ഓർ മൈനസ് ഡെൽറ്റ ബൈ 2ഉം പിന്നെ ഇ മാക്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വിൽ നത്തിങ് ബട്ട് മോഡ് ഓഫ് ഡെൽറ്റ ബൈ 2. ദിസ് ഈസ് ദ ക്വാണ്ടൈസേഷൻ എറർ. Now we will discuss about the transmission bandwidth of PCM. We assume that the quantizer we use have V number of bits. That is V number of bits to represent each level. Then the number of level will be, that is Q will be 2 raised to V. Assume that quantizer, that is the quantizer use V number of bit ആണ് quantizer use ചെയ്യുന്നെങ്കിൽ then levels which is represented by Q will be 2 raised to V. Hence each sample is converted into V bits. So number of bits per sample is V and number of sample per second is Fs and number of bits per second is called, the number of bits per second is called signaling rate of PCM. And the signal, and it is denoted by R, that is number of bit per second of PCM is known as signaling rate. It is represented by R and which is nothing but V into, which is number of bits into Fs, that is number of sample per second, that is number of bits per second into number of samples per second is nothing but the signaling rate. We know that Fs is always greater, should be always greater than or equal to 2 times Fm. This is a Nyquist criteria. So the transmission bandwidth should be always greater than or equal to 1 by 2 times signaling, that is signaling rate. And signaling rate, we know the equation, substitute here, then bandwidth should be greater than or equal to 1 by 2 into V into Fs, and condition for Fs we know that bandwidth should be greater than or equal to 1 by 2 into V into Fs is nothing but 2 times Fm, 2 Fm. So this 2 and this 2 get cancelled. So bandwidth for PCM should be greater than or equal to V into Fm, where V is the number of bits per sample and Fm is the maximum message frequency. So this is the equation for transmission bandwidth of a PCM. So we assume that a quantizer which has number of bits per sample which is equal to V and number of samples per second which is equal to Fs. So number of bits per second of a PCM is known as signaling rate, and it is represented by R. R is nothing but this V, that is number of bits per sample into number of samples per second, Fs. And we know the condition for Nyquist criteria. Fs is always greater than or equal to 2 times Fm. It is the Nyquist criteria. So bandwidth, for the equation for bandwidth, we know that bandwidth should be greater than or equal to 1 by 2 into this signaling rate R. On substituting here R, we get that bandwidth is always greater than or equal to 1 by 2 into V into Fs. That is signaling rate equation. And Fs, on substituting the equation for Fs, bandwidth should be greater than or equal to 1 by 2 into V into 2Fm. That is, Fs should be greater than or equal to 2 times Fm. So this 2 and this 2 get cancelled. So bandwidth than or equal to this V into Fm, where V is the number of bits per sample and Fm is the message frequency. Is this clear? Is this clear? Now we will discuss about the quantization noise in PCM. Before we have discussed about the transmission bandwidth in PCM, first we have discussed about the quantization, 2 types of quantization, mid-rise and mid-thread, and we have discussed about the mid-rise quantization and the quantization error, and later we have discussed about the working with transmission bandwidth in PCM, and now we are going to discuss about the quantization noise in PCM. Quantization error is nothing but E is equal to X Q of NTS minus X of NTS. This is the quantization error which is represented by this E. Now we will assume that the input varies from X max to minus X max. That is, the input varies from X max to minus X max. So the total input range is nothing but 2X max. Total range which the input varies 2X max on. So the total range is now divided into Q levels. Right? The total range we are dividing into Q levels, which will be nothing but our step size delta. The total range Q levels divide we'll get the step size delta, which is nothing but 2X max divided by Q. Our total input range Q level divide by which we get the step size delta. Quantization error can be assumed as a uniformly distributed random variable. We assume that our quantization error is uniformly distributed random variable. Thus the PDF for quantization error, then the PDF for this quantization may be defined as like this. The error this is the PDF for quantization error, which can be described as Fe of E, which is equal to 0, then this E is less than or equal to minus delta by 2. That is, when E is less than or equal to minus delta by 2, and 1 by delta when E is between minus delta by 2 and plus delta by 2, and 0 when E is greater than or equal to delta by 2. This is the probability density function for this quantization error. And this quantization error has zero average value. So the mean of quantization error is nothing but a quantization error na zero average value ayonde. Therefore, this mean of this quantization error, that is ME, that is mean of quantization error, is nothing but 0. And signal to noise ratio is nothing but signal power divided by noise power. So noise power is nothing but V square noise divided by R. Is that clear? Up to this, is that clear? Okay. So signal to noise ratio, we have signal power by noise power. Noise power is nothing but V square noise by R. And V square noise is nothing but mean square value of noise voltage. That is mean square value of noise voltage on this V square noise, which is nothing but expectation of quantization noise square, which is nothing but minus infinity to infinity this E square into this F of E dE. So minus infinity to infinity is the limit. Here we know that it is minus delta by 2 to delta by 2. So minus delta by 2 to delta by 2 E square into just the F of E the value 1 by delta dE. F of E the value 1 by delta. So by which E square na E cube by 3 delta minus delta by 2 to delta by 2. So 1 by 3 delta into E cube . So substituting the values for this delta by 2 and minus delta by 2, we get that minus 3 delta into delta cube by 8 plus delta cube by 8. It is 2 delta cube by 8 into 1 by 3 delta. This and this get cancelled, and the final answer will be del square by 12. This is our V square noise. That is, we get the V square noise as del square by 12. Now, if we are assuming that R, here it is the load resistance value. Now we are assuming that the load resistor value is 1 ohm, R equal to 1 ohm. Then the noise power is nothing but del square by 12. Is that clear? So the noise power is del square by 2. So the signal to ratio, that is signal to quantization noise. We are discussing about the quantization. The signal to quantization noise ratio for a linear quantizer. അതായത് we are discussing about the quantization noise. So the signal to quantization noise ratio for a linear quantizer is nothing but f by n, which is normalized signal power by noise power, which we know that del square by 12, and number of quantization level here q is equal to 2 raised to v, where v is the number of bits per sample and the input varies between minus x max to x max, and we know the step size as delta is equal to 2x max by the number of level, that is q, which is nothing but 2x max. Q we know that's 2 raised to v. So signal to noise ratio is nothing but, here for delta we will substitute this value, that is normalized signal power by this delta square. This is the delta square, which is nothing but 2x max into 2 raised to v square into 1 by 12. This is our delta value. And normalized signal power is nothing but P, and on squaring this term we get that is for x square max divided by this 12 into 2 raised to 2v. So this will go up and this will cancel, and this our final answer will be 3p x square max 2 into 2 raised to 2v. This is our signal to quantization noise ratio of a linear quantizer. That is signal to quantization noise ratio of a linear quantizer. And if the input x of t ഒരു normalized value ആണെങ്കിൽ, then x max equal to 1 and p will be less than or equal to 1, then signal to noise ratio is nothing but x max equal to 1 and p will be less than or equal to 1. So signal to noise ratio will be less than or equal to 3 into 2 raised to 2v. അതായത് ഈ ഇക്വേഷനിൽ if the x of t input normalized ആണെങ്കിൽ x max is equal to 1 ആണ് and p less than or equal to 1 ആണ്. അങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന കേസിൽ signal to noise ratio will be less than or equal to 3 into 2 raised to 2v. ഇത് ക്ലിയർ ആണോ? Okay. Next ഇത്ര നേരം നമ്മൾ we have gone through uniform quantizer. Now we are going to non-uniform quantizer in PCM. In uniform quantizer, once the step size fix ആവുന്ന സമയത്ത് then the quantization noise power, that is quantization noise power എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ constant value ആണ്. അതായത് step size, once the step size is fixed, the quantization noise power is constant in the case of uniform quantization. Hence, our input signal, if the input signal is weak, then the signal power will be small. Input signal weak ആണെങ്കിൽ signal power will be small, and hence SNR എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് will be poor. This will affect the quality of signal. So it is better to go for non-uniform quantization where the step size is varied according to the signal level. Signal level step size vary in the non-uniform quantization better than this uniform quantization. Uniform quantization the step size remain constant. When the step size is fixed on the quantization noise power constant value. So when the input signal weak the signal power will be very small and correspondingly the signal to noise ratio will be poor, and the quality of the signal this will affect the quality of the signal. So it is better to go for non-uniform type of quantization in PCM in which step size varies according to the signal level. The usual method for performing non-uniform quantization is to use compounding. The usual method for performing non-uniform quantization usual method is known as compounding. Here the weak compounding weak signal amplify weak signal are amplified and strong signal are attenuated. Before applying to uniform quantizer. Or uniform weak signal it is amplified and strong signal it is attenuated. This is called as compression, and the block that perform it is called compressor compression and the block which perform this function is known as compressor. So usual method for performing non-uniform quantization is known as compounding. Here the weak signal, the signal which is weak are amplified and the signal which is strong is attenuated, and this process is known as compression, and the block which perform this function is known as compressor. This is the transmitter side. At the receiver side, exactly the opposite followed, that is opposite of compounding, it is expansion, or opposite of compression, which is expansion. The receiver side, expansion is followed in the receiver side, and the block which perform this expansion is known as expander. So it is better to go for non-uniform type of quantization, because in uniform quantization, once the step size is fixed, quantization noise remains constant, noise power constant out. So when the input signal weak the signal to noise ratio poor, so that will affect the quality of the signal. So we will go for compounding, in which the weak signal are amplified and strong signal are attenuated. This is done by a method known as compression, and the block which perform this function is known as compressor. And at the receiver, the direct opposite of this compression is done, which is expansion, and the block which performs this expansion is known as expander. The compounder characteristics is shown here, which is a combination of compressor and expander. Compounder it's nothing but it's a combination of compression and expander. That is compounder, expansion and compression. Both these processes together known as compounding. That is compression plus expansion. The cara is shown like this. This output. This is our input. This is our compression. This is expansion. And this is compression. And this is our expansion. This is the compounder cara, which is a combination of expansion and compression, expansion and compression. Is that clear?